y'all, Stock Warden here, back with another video. And today we're looking at the rise and fall of PTNM Limited. So this is a makeup company that I had made a video of previously on its huge miraculous trend upwards, and to be able to show that this company was a huge market player in Hong Kong for a huge beauty brand. They ended up being able to come in and they made their NASDAQ debut after they priced a $7 million IPO at $4 a share. As you can see, where they ended up starting over here in the NASDAQ for the American markets for us to be able to trade for. They steadily went up in a slow trend until finally they exploded practically overnight. So this is one of, not the only, but one of the very, very many stocks that is blown up quick and then it drops back to where it originally was in all the other markets that had the stock extremely overinflated. So this is a great learning experience for everybody involved, whether you decided to buy into this stock at all, or even if you just decided to kind of watch and see what was going to happen with this stock over the course of a couple of months, if you've seen it start up in the beginning. So with this, you can always see a solid bullish run where people are pushing the stock up high with a $7 million IPO. That is definitely not something to shake a stick at, especially being straightforward and forthcoming into the NASDAQ, having something that large. It is a great feat, but with something that is coming out of Hong Kong, the numbers can be pushed around a lot. There's been a lot of speculation about the Chinese markets and how more or less the president Xi Jinping can be able to determine what prices on what stocks he wants at any given point in time. So that's not saying that that's necessarily true for this stock in specific, because it made its way into the American market with it having a public offering in NASDAQ. So the numbers could not be skewed, nor could they be manipulated now that it is brought over here into the American market. So whenever we first went over this stock and kind of went over what they're about, what they're doing, what products they're trying to push, and things of that nature, it definitely showed that they were jumping into the multi-billion-dollar industry of the beauty products industry, which, lo and behold, it will never die, but not necessarily to be one that's profitable because of all the large manufacturers that are already there, and also all the large players inside the makeup industry and the beauty products industry that are going to keep any outside or foreigners to be able to try to push their way into the market, whether the product is good or not, whether the product works or not. None of us will really be able to know unless you try the product yourself, which everybody knows every person deals differently with different products because of how they're all created and made with the different products and chemicals, mostly chemicals, that is used in today's beauty products market. So, as I had said, whenever we first seen this major run up, whenever they had their initial offering at $4 a share, and then they ended up having a great bull run from their initial public offering. They ended up closing out on their last bull day before the jump at $9.46 a share. I'm sorry, $9.51 a share where they closed, which sparked a huge uptick for short buyers to be able to push this stock as high as they possibly could. They ended up having a huge market increase for this day. When they did, they turned around and put forth a solid, millions of shares into this stock, which they ended up boosting relatively quickly, and it brought it right back, because you can also see earlier, after they had had their initial public offering, just 3 days later, they had a candle that pushed hugely way up into the stratus where they just pushed it up real hard and then they ended up all selling. But since it ended up retaining kind of on this short well, as you can see right here, where the initial offering was and then it came up, it kind of held somewhat of a resistance line onto the initial day on its highest peak. So that kind of piqued a lot of people's interests to be able to stay in this stock and kind of see where it may go instead of just running it up. But once they seen that the trend was so solid and that there really was no bear flag into this type of product, which beauty already as it is a huge volatile industry as it is, because you're either going to make it or you're going to break it. And with stocks, it just goes to show just how cutthroat this world can be, being able to go all the way up from $4 a share up to almost $15 a share, where you're, over tripling your money within the course of almost just a little over 30 days. And then all of a sudden in one day it goes completely crashing down, and then the next day it goes even below where the initial offering of the NASDAQ at $4 a share was, and it has since then continued to dwindle down into just about nothing, where anybody that bought shares all the way up into this point is more or less just trying to cut their losses at where it's sitting at now. Because as you can see down here, for a lot of the different earnings that they ended up having and a lot of the shares on the volumes that they had, it has all completely been detrimental for this stock and also for this company. So where this stock's going to go, where this company is going to go, I don't know. But honestly, I'm going to close the book on this stock as it stands, because it was a huge pump and dump, which is not what this channel is about. This channel is about finding good stocks to be able to hold, to pursue, and show great contracts, great growth, and great value in said company that is publicly trading. So this stock, we are going to go ahead and shut the book on it, and I will no longer be covering PTNM Limited. So I hope y'all liked the video. I hope it was a little bit informational for y'all on how some of these trends end up throwing up and then how they can crash down just so fast, along with checking how volatile some stocks can be, no matter how new, or also how old some stocks can be that can do this same exact thing. If you go back and look at how, well, GameStop was, that was a very, very famous one that a lot of people know about. If not, definitely go back and kind of check into some history of the great GameStop. I guess you could say some people call it a scandal with what they ended up saying, how that stock ran up so high and then crashed down so hard, just about how this stock did here. So drop a like, subscribe, comment if you liked the video, if you didn't like the video, and also leave a comment below as well if there's a stock that you would like to be able to show and share with the rest of the public out here on YouTube. I'd love to be able to find another stock to hopefully be able to open out and even throw it into my rocket stock to where I believe it could make millionaires. So we're going to find out. We're going to take care, and we're all going to come back and keep pressing play and seeing where this wonderful world can take us. Thank all of you for watching, and I'll see you next time. So this is the Stock Warden riding off. So y'all come back now, you hear?